Ice jams and flooding force more road closures and alternate routes for drivers trying to reach their destinations. Floodwaters are wreaking havoc across south central and eastern Montana. Q2's Mitch Laggy traveled to Crow Agency, where emergency crews are lending a helping hand.
Exit 509 on I-90 is your last chance to depart the interstate before running into major flooding in Crow Agency. The Crow tribe has been battling flooding around the reservation for about a week. This flooding comes as the Crow tribe has already been dealing with a lack of clean drinking water due to low pressure in the water lines in Crow Agency.
We've had a unified command with the state and BIA and tribe, and making sure everybody's getting drinking water and has potable water for the town of Crow, as well as the outlying areas that have been affected.
I'm standing here at the entrance to Gary Owen Road here in Crow Agency. As you can see behind me, major flooding happening on this roadway as well as Interstate 90, preventing folks from traveling between Crow Agency all the way to the Wyoming state line. There have been a couple cars behind me so far since I've been here that I've seen that have tried to pass through this section of roadway that's flooded. Not a good idea. Most of them have turned back around. The Crow Department of Emergency Services, as well as the American Mine Land Reclamation Program, have filled and placed over 1,500 bags of sand to people whose houses are at risk.
The warm temperatures, all the water just kind of came all at once, and now it's just flowing onto my property. As far as I went there about an hour ago, everything was dry, everything was nice. It was just I was just kind of concerned because for any more water, it'd probably go under now, or go under. Thankfully, we are working together to really get the flooding under control.
The good news? Everyone I talked to on the ground said that it looks like water levels around the reservation have been falling steadily over the course of today. In Crow Agency, Mitch Laggy, MTN News.
And east of Crow Agency in Powder River County, flooding has taken over streets in the rural communities. Roads are completely washed out and crews are furiously trying to keep the water in check before more damage is done to infrastructure. Many roads have been closed and the damage underneath is devastating. Over in Richland County, high waters continue to plague the area. Chunks of ice coat rivers and at times stop and force water onto land. Richland County DES says the water can rise quickly and it has saturated fields, putting livestock and structures at risk. It's been an ongoing battle for crews there as the ice clogs up canals and forces residents to stay on their toes. And here in Billings, check out this scene near Colson Park last night around 6:30. As you can see, a major ice jam broke free, sending huge chunks of ice flowing through the Billings area. The bulk and force of the ice chunks are dominating the river. The oldest cold case in Yellowstone County has been solved after 45 years. Yellowstone County Sheriff Mike Linder announced a suspect Monday in the murders of Clifford and Linda Bernhardt, who were killed in their Heights home back in November of 1973. The Bernhardts were both strangled and were found in separate rooms. Authorities at the time say Linda had also been sexually assaulted. The solving of this crime comes with a surge of success, but behind this discovery, there's also years of pain. Q2's Zoe Zandora shows us how authorities closed this case.
I'm going to start by telling you that we met with the family this morning and things got pretty emotional, so don't be surprised if they get emotional again here.
A double murder case 45 years later solved, but how?
A good day, a somber day, as we celebrate some closure.
After establishing our cold case in 2012, many hours were spent reviewing the case, eliminating suspects, prioritizing others, and the investigation advanced significantly in 2015 when Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office enlisted the services of Parabon Nanolab,
a DNA technology company based in Virginia. By using Parabon's snapshot DNA analysis service, which is used to accurately predict the physical appearance and ancestry of an unknown person by using their DNA, a profile was established of the suspect by predicting complexion, skin, hair, eye color, and ethnicity.
So after the snapshot phenotype was created, Parabon introduced a genetic genealogy unit. And crime scene DNA was reanalyzed across hundreds of thousands of genetic markers from which a new data file was created. That data file was uploaded to a website called GEDmatch, and it was compared to about 1.2 million participants already in that database.
Based on this, people who shared DNA with the unknown suspect were detected. Relatives were identified, allowing Parabon to reverse engineer the family tree of the unknown suspect and identify the likely contributor of the DNA, which was then passed on to detectives for further investigation.
On January 3rd of this year, we received updated information in which Parabon concluded that our suspect was one of two closely related individuals.
After further investigation, it was learned that one of the two individuals was deceased, and after collecting DNA from the suspect that was still living, Swordson Forensics, a private laboratory based in Utah, confirmed that the DNA profile obtained from that person, that relative, was consistent with the profile recovered from the 1973 crime scene.
On January 24th of this year, upon further DNA analysis, the Montana State Crime Lab positively eliminated the living family member as a contributor of the DNA profile found at the scene.
And through the process of elimination, the deceased relative was the suspect, identified as Cecil Stan Caldwell of Billings.
It's just hard to put it in words how proud we are of the work that our cold case unit has done, our detective division. And this goes clear back to the investigators at the scene.
Even though at the time the technology had not advanced to a point where someone might be identified, they knew and understood the importance down the road that everything they collected could eventually be important.
Right now, we know very little about Cecil Stan Caldwell other than he will never have to answer for his crimes. He died here in Billings back in 2003 at the age of 59, having lived with this secret for more than 30 years. We do know Caldwell worked with Linda Bernhardt at the Ryan Distributing Company in Billings, but Caldwell was never questioned and he had no criminal history. Retired Detective Vince Wallace said no motive for the crime has been identified and we will likely never know why Caldwell did what he did. At the time, authorities felt the killer was likely someone the couple knew and was possibly even invited into their home. Well, drivers are always warned to never get behind the wheel after a few drinks. But one person made that poor decision and just happened to run into someone who could do something about it. A DUI driver crashed into a Billings Police Department patrol car last night in downtown Billings. Just after midnight, the officer was en route to a call when the other driver failed to yield the right of way at North 24th Street and 1st Avenue North. The female driver was arrested for DUI. No one was injured in the crash, and the patrol car had to be towed from the scene. A Montana telecommunications company is responding to claims it could threaten the national security of our nation at Maelstrom Air Force Base. Havre-based Triangle Communications has used equipment from Chinese company Huawei since 2012. CEO Craig Gates said a recent article by CNN does not accurately portray how Triangle uses the equipment. Gates maintains the system is secure.
Huawei around Maelstrom Air Base is fixed wireless internet. So what we're doing is we have it on towers that we put up until we can get there and build fiber to our members' homes and businesses.
Gates says our government has not informed Triangle Communications of the potential of security threats from the equipment. From the 66th session, Hannah's Act, a bill aimed at improving the response to missing and murdered Indigenous women, failed in Helena Monday. House Bill 21 is named after Hannah Harris, a Lame Deer woman murdered on the Northern Cheyenne Reservation in 2013. The act would have provided for a new missing persons specialist at the Montana Department of Justice. The bill was tabled after a tie vote in the Senate Judiciary Committee. It had already passed the Montana House by a vote of 99-0.